Started from the bottom like Drake. Got that young moolah, but I learned my mistakes. Climbing up the ladder, gotta watch out for the snakes. If you wanna be the boss, then you have to delegate.
Hello guys and girls, and welcome back. It's your boy Big John here. The at's at the bottom of the screen if you like to listen to my music. So it's all the relevant information I'll be speaking about in this video. What I'm going to be going over is what some of the students and some of the general members in my group have actually suggested me to discuss, which is to do with psychology. How can you actually enter trades if you are a busy person during the course of the day, and trading off of higher time frames in order to find entries? So I'm going to go over those three aspects. I hope it does help a lot of people, this information, and I would suggest it's better for you to watch the whole video through, as there will be gems and golden nuggets throughout the whole course of the video. This is going to be a technical analysis video for the week ahead, so there will possibly be trade opportunities, so make sure you pay attention and see if you can grab yourself some pips this week. I hope you're going to like this one, guys and girls. Let's get straight into the video. Okay, so we are on the charts at the moment. You can see this is Euro USD, and this was a fantastic trade that was actually called out in my previous YouTube video. In the first 20 seconds, I said you just got to enter the trade and see what happens. And this is looking like a possible breakout and a retest to this area right here. A continuation may occur towards the upside. If they do want to go and chase anything, then we know that they might want to go and chase this liquidity that they have left behind. So it's giving us a perfect reason to believe that price could buy from here. You've got to understand that when it comes to trades like this, you've just got to be willing to take the risk to reward. And where did price go to? It went exactly to our target zone, which was this liquidity that was left behind during the course of this previous week, and price went straight to there and managed to cover that liquidity. So you might be saying, okay, but how was I supposed to know I could get in this trade? So there's two aspects here of how you could have got in this trade. You could have used a trend line, or you could have easily have looked over to the left and seen that there was a possible level of support here in the market. As we can see, price had brought down to this level, brought back off of this level, so the market was finding some type of reaction to this zone just below here, and then eventually broke through this level, tried to keep breaking through but was failing, and then eventually it did break through, bounced back on this level, and then we saw a huge buy off of this level. So it's telling us this whole area here is a level of interest, and it starts from around here and goes up further. If you want to make this more precise, you could have said it was this area here to this area all the way down here. So you're looking at price finding some type of levels of support in between here and doing a possible reversal. But for us, where was the market? The market had opened over here. So already I said, like in that video, you're just looking to enter the trade, and you would have either had your stop loss where you can see it here, just below this support over here, or you would have had your stop loss all the way down here, basically making this less of a risk to reward trade, but still just a trade entry. When it comes to these types of trades, you just have to enter. There is no if, buts, or maybes. So you might be saying, okay, again, what is the psychology point of this? Now, you're going to see these type of setups happening time and time again. You can't hesitate when you see these type of setup. This is where your psychology comes to play as a trader. You just have to take the trade, and you're going to use law of averages, as you're going to see whilst I go through this video, why I've actually put the statement law of averages in the title and the thumbnail. Now, what are we going to be expecting price to do? Now, we could be seeing price doing something like this. So we could see it buy back up to this level, reject off of this level, come back down all the way to here, and then look for our eventual buys back up. We could be looking for something like that. If not, then we could be seeing price doing what here, guys and girls? Let's look for our next level of support we can possibly see here. I can see that there was a level of interest right over here in the market. So if we bring this down from here to here, and where price actually stopped right here on this 4-hour candle, if the market respects this whole zone, and this will be my last level of where I'm expecting price to find a nice support, if it respects this area, then I'm looking for a continuation buy. When I'm looking over to the left, I can already see there was a gap in the market. So just like a liquidity wick, you're expecting the gap to be filled. So if they're going up to another level, I'm looking at either continuing my buy to go up towards this level here, or I'm looking at adding another position in here for a possible buy. And if I was to add this position in here, again, all I would do is either enter here and put my stop loss just below this level, or I'm going to enter here again and put my stop loss just like that, and then I'm going to look to take this trade up to this level here, which gives me another 6-to-1 risk to reward ratio, even with a 42 pip stop loss. It's really that simple. You're either going to enter when you see a green candle off of this level and just go for it, or you're going to wait for it to get down to the next level here, which is a better level of support, and then look for the buy. Now, of course, what can happen to you in this trade, so I'm breaking it down for you, is you can see there's a wick left here. Price could go for this wick the same way it went for this wick. This was caused by the Fed news. What we could be seeing is price going down towards here and then finding another buyer for this zone. All of that could play out. Really, your best case scenario of this is price going back down towards this level and then continuing a buy. But I'm already in this trade, so I don't have to worry about any if, buts, or maybes. All I have to worry about is if I want to add re-entries. And I've already explained to you where that is. This level right here, this one here, or this one down here. Okay, we move over to USD JPY now, and when we're on USD JPY, what are we looking at on this chart? So let's go out to a daily chart. Okay, that's not big enough. Let's go out to a weekly chart. And what do? We zoom out on a weekly chart, and you can even see on the weekly chart, this is hard to even view. So let's go out to a monthly chart. Now this is better. So you can see how I'm going up my time frames now. Wherever price was, it had not been back at this same level for so long. I had to go over to my daily time frame, my weekly time frame, and then my monthly time frame in order for me to look for a possible trade setup. Multi-time frame analysis. These things are very important and key. So what we're looking at now is where price could go to. So I can see that it's already on this candle, broke this level. It's still within the month, so it could pull back in. But if we go down to the weekly time frame, we can see that the week had closed above this level. So now it only leaves me to believe that price might want to go further. Even though I'm in this trade from here, I'm not expecting price to realistically even win at this current moment. If it does, that's great. If it loses, oh well. What am I looking for now? I've seen that there's another level of resistance over here on the weekly time frame, right here where the market had hit this level and reversed heavy all the way down to this zone. Now I'm just going to adjust my charts whilst you're here and watching this with me, guys and girls. I'm going to move this up here to this zone over here. Let's just get this out of the way right there. This was a free trade I was updating in the group as well, and we can see what I'm doing here. So all I'm doing is changing these to what I could be looking for. So I know that if the market wants to break up even further, it could go towards this level here and drop. And where's its next level if it breaks there? All the way up here. Where would I be looking to take a trade from? I'd be looking to take a trade from this area right over here. So if it breaks this area and I lose that trade, that's no problem. I can give myself like a 50 pip stop loss, something like this. And where am I looking to take this trade to? I could take it down to here. That still gives me a 5-to-3 risk to reward. I could take it down to here. That almost gives me a 10. If I want to make this a nice 10, I could be looking to take the trade like that. So I might lose this entry, but I'm able to re-enter here again, and this gives me 10 possibilities. So if I do win this trade, that means it takes away 2 from this 10. So really I want an 8.0 risk to reward ratio. I'm still blue. It doesn't matter if I lost. Too many people keep looking at trying to get the perfect entry to get the perfect trade. This is where the psychology comes in, UJ. Just like any pair, stop trying to win every trade. You are going to lose some trades. It's just how the game goes. It's okay. You will lose the trade here, fine. If I re-enter here and it gives me a possibility of a 10 going forward, that little loss was nothing. And this is why your leverage has to stay in check, because you start to realize this whilst you're trading. So you see here, this is what it could do, and this is where I could take price from and find a continuation of a sell. So on this pair, I'm still just looking for a sell long term. And when it does that, I'll be looking to take the trade. Very, very simple, guys and girls. Don't overcomplicate it. But this one right now, we're still just holding it. So now we're on NZD USD, and we can see right now, this was a beautiful trade. So when the market closed, it was actually here. So we would have been waiting for it to do like how we're assuming what EU can do now and stuff like that. We're looking to see if the price is going to sell back down. When we look at this market, that yes, it did buy up here and this was perfect. This was a beautiful trade. This is how you could have taken it, but why could you have taken it from this zone? Now remember, I'm on a 4-hour now, but you use many different time frames. Even if I'm looking at this chart the same way on the 1-hour time frame, we can still see what I'm going to draw out here. There is clearly a level of support here on the 1-hour time frame. And what was left here, the liquidity, just like EU, there was liquidity here for NU to be able to go and chase. this. And what did we see here? We saw the market pull down to this level the same way it did before, and we're seeing a buy continuation off of this level for you to take the possible buy towards the liquidity and this TP level here. Why are we looking at it like this? The market on a higher time frame we can see is in an uptrend, so we wouldn't be looking for any sells. How do we know it's in an uptrend? As I've explained before, the market was creating a higher low, another higher low, and this would have been its third higher low right here. It would have been nice to go all the way down to this level, but it didn't. You saw the market pull down to this level. You even saw on a daily time frame that the candle was bullish on this level. You could have easily got in the next day, or when we go down to our smaller time frames, you would have easily been able to get in from where, as soon as you've seen the market go up to here, retest this level, massive engulfing off of this level now, you could have got in here with no drawdown and held this trade. Very, very simple. So when it comes to psychology and learning about what the market can do, again, it's one of those ones. You just enter the trade. And when it comes to law of averages, you can see it clear as day that you was in 3 different pairs and you've got different outcomes that can happen for all of them. But 2 so far have won, and the other one you're still holding the trade. And this is where your psychology starts to come better. You start to realize that you're placing trades, you're walking away, and you're just expecting to see a certain outcome. Either win or lose, you have done your due diligence in the market, done your technical analysis, and you're waiting for the trade to play out. What could NU be doing right now, and what can we expect? Well, we know it's an uptrend, so if we're looking for long-term buys in here, we can see that the market has another level of support around here. It would be great to see price do something similar to this, bounce back down to this level, and then bounce back off to this level here, because this is where we're looking at price going to. So this is our next idea of what the market can do here. If it does decide to go any lower, then we do have price going down maybe to this level and then finding a continuation of a buy up there. If it breaks this level and breaks this level here, then personally you don't want that trade until it goes all the way back down to the bottom. Keep it simple. You have 2 possible re-entries this week for this pair. It's either you're going to win them or you're going to lose them. Again, psychology. You're not overthinking this. If it hits this line, I see a rejection off of this line, I'm entering. The rejection could be a strong bullish candle, or it could be a candle that doesn't close where this line is, maybe bearish even. You enter, you take it, or you take it here. Very simple. So right now I'm going to be looking at continuations of buys on NZD USD, literally like that. Remember, I marked this out before it got to this level. This was a resistance level, a key level up here, and we could see the market had bought up to this level during the course of the week. Didn't hit it entirely, and that's not a problem because this is even a 4-hour chart, so every single candle here would have taken 4 hours to close, giving you more time to see that there was a rejection here. Then 4 hours later you would have been looking for a trade entry here. How would you have made this trade entry even better for yourself? Okay, that's not a problem. When we zoom in, what we're looking to do, so we can start to see that there was a trend line formed from here to here. This is where we saw a rejection in the market. If it's not clear for you there, I'll go down even further to show you. So now I'm on a 1-hour time frame and you can see it a lot better now, this rejection. You can see the market came down and we're looking for a retest or a break at this level to take the trade from here. We saw that the market on this 4-hour candle here rejected off of this level again. So we've seen a buy up here, we've seen a rejection off of this level. That's fine. As soon as that rejection happens, you get in the trade. Do not think about it. This is where the psychology comes into play. Remember, look how you've looked at the charts as I've gone through them from the beginning to now. You can see how setups just appear. You either trade or you don't. This is what psychology is. Psychology is not some special genie super source. What psychology is simply just understanding you're going to win trades and you're going to lose trades. And when that comes into play, you're going to trade a lot better. Trust me. We can see we'd entered here, stop loss above that level, and now you're taking this trade. Where was you looking for this trade to go down to? You're looking for it to go down to this level here. Or of course you're looking for it to go all the way down to this level down here if it does do something. So again, this is a 5 to 7 risk to reward ratio if this trade does actually go all the way down to this level. It's putting you in a good amount of a win compared to a loss. But even where the trade is at the moment and you could close a break even on it, it's still a 1.6. So you could definitely put a break even on this trade if you want to. And now it's a risk-free trade. It's either going to do it or it's not. And yeah, what we're seeing right now, what could happen is a long-term sell going down towards this area. Whether it pulls back on us or anything like that, that's down to what the market can do. But on this pair right now, I'm only looking for a reversal and a long-term sell back towards this area. If it does give you another retest, let's look for a level. Let's just get rid of this right now. now. Let's look for a level of where the market can go to. So we're also going to get rid of this so it's out of the way. Always clear up your charts and make sure they're clean for you. Where could this go to? Let's go down to a 1 hour time frame. Okay, so what can we see here? So we're looking at a possible retest right now, again to maybe somewhere like here, or we're looking at a retest. Let's just make this nice and clear for us. So I can say resistance zone. I'll just put it like that. Even though it's a mid-level one, it's not strong one. Let's just do this, and then I'm just going to clone this, and I'm just going to make sure that I can see that there's another level right here in the market. Even if I stretch this level over, we can see that this level had existed here. Right now we're looking at a retest to either here or up this level here. Personally, if I was looking to take this trade, I want it to go up to this level here, because this gives me a stronger pullback in terms of the trade, and knowing that there's more chance, more pressure for this pair to sell in a strong direction down towards the downside. But if anything, it can still do this. We can see the market go up to here, reject and sell, or we can see the market do this and go from where it is now all the way up to this level and sell. It could do either or. This is what happens. You just got to enter the trade psychology, and this is how we can see how you're going to enter these trades. If you're very busy, the same thing you always do. All you have to do is right click on this, add an alert. Make sure you add it on the time frame you want to be on. I usually go to the 15-minute time frame and I'll set up my alert. So what I do is I'll go to the 15-minute time frame. I'm going to right click on here. I'm going to go to add here, and then I'm going to set up my alert, and I'm going to say crossing horizontal ray and once per bar close. So every single time if the 15-minute candle closes after that, I'm going to say look for sells on UCHF. So I know it's USD CHF. And I can do that. I'm going to explain to you what else you can do if you're very busy in USD CAD. You're going to be able to see how you're going to be able to take trades off of that, and even you're going to treat it like a signal for yourself. Neo, the indicator with Telegram alerts, is an all-in-one break and retest indicator. Neo is set up to help traders find an entry into the market for long-term trades. Based from the daily, weekly, and monthly time frame, the Neo alerts will help you identify high probability setups, meaning long-term consistency. There are two options when it comes to purchasing Neo. There is a standalone group where you will be receiving level 1 to 3 Neo trades. These trades will not come with a stop loss or a TP, but they will have an entry to give you good high probability setups into the market. There's also a VIP group where you will still be getting level 1 to 3 trades, but this time you will be trading along with me as well when I'm taking level 3 trades. These are the trades that have been recorded in the Discord from last year October, where you have seen that the indicator has provided 100% win rate at least on 2 occasions now. On average, I would say it's around about an 80% win rate, but it can give or take depending on market conditions. With the new version of Neo, it has now been set up with 3 levels of trades. Level 1 is for the scalping type of trader, where you will be able to get in and out of the market very quickly in order for you to see your profits. Level 2 trades are set up for the day type of trader. This is where you might be holding a trade for a day or 2, or maybe even 3, so that you can secure the profits needed. Level 3 trades is based for the swing trader. This is where you're going to see the most profits in your trades, where you will be able to be in a trade and maximize profits by capturing a large amount of pips. With 3 Zoom calls a week, being a VIP member of Neo is a fantastic opportunity for you to be able to learn market structure and technical analysis to a high standard. Regular news alert updates or partial profit closures on the trade you're in is also a benefit of you being in the VIP group. Signing up for Neo is not hard at all. All you have to do is message me in Discord or Telegram. I hope this helps everybody when it comes to understanding what Neo can do for them and if they would like to get the service. USD CAD, we are on this pair right now, and as you can see the play out of this, the market stopped here, and this was this week going into here to see what happened. So what did we see on this week here? This is what we're expecting USD CHF to do in theory now, but USD CAD has already done it this week. The same as that thing I explained. You saw the market pulled up to a level. On a higher time frame, we drew a trend line down to here. So we was expecting from where this black line is here for price to go all the way up to there. But when you want to hone in on a week, you want to make sure you're looking for the miniature support and resistance within that zone, because price is not so predictable. It doesn't have to go exactly to a zone, a line, a rectangle, whatever you draw a trend line, it doesn't. And when we go down a level, we can see that it did go towards these levels here. So I can see that there was a huge resistance off of this level here before the black trend line. I can also see that there was another resistance level possibly here, because where the wick stopped on this candle. So this is how I've got this line here, and this is how I got this line here. Now remember what I explained to you in terms of how you can enter these markets if you are someone that's very busy and maybe you're at work a lot of the time, you can't sit in front of the charts. This is actually explained in two explanations in once, and we can see that higher time frame trading is more beneficial for you in terms of if you're a busy person. And at the same time, what you can do is you can treat these as signal trades so you can know how to enter them yourself. I'm going to go to my 15-minute time frame. The week has started here, bear this in mind, and at the same time I can see where previous levels of support and resistance is in the market. As we can see, here was a resistance. Now when I've set this alert right here, what I have done is that I can work out where I want my stop loss to be. So I want my stop loss, if I enter on this line, to be above this line here basically, and I can work out the values of that because I can see over here on the right that this is where the stop loss is, 1.28777. I can see my entry obviously is over there, 1.28418, and then I can see that my TP is down here, 1.25882. So what did I do over here? In my alert, it's going to give me these levels. So while I've got at work, I managed to find a quick 15-minute break, 10-minute break, even 5-minute break. I'm able to copy these numbers into my phone and let the trade play out. This is where the psychology comes. You're thinking you have to stare at the chart because you believe you staring at the chart is going to make a difference. No, the trade is either going to win or it's going to lose. You have to come to terms with that. And you're going to see me keep saying that. This is where psychology is. You have to see this play out X amount of times and you'll realize what will happen. And again, what did happen on this trade? You won this trade a lot. You won a lot. This was a 7.06 risk to reward ratio. You only risked 35 pips and you was able to gain 250 pips. I want you guys and girls to understand this. You're going to win trades, you're going to lose trades. Some trades will like UJ, the other won't. So that means you've won 3 trades now with many positions going forward, and you've technically maybe only lost 1 trade on UJ right now. Just bear that in mind, people. Bear that in mind. Law of averages. Now we're on GBP JPY, and you can see here this was a trade we was expecting for it to possibly sell from this level and continue to go back down to fill this void down here. Well, they didn't decide to do that with this pair this week. It's no problem. So let's go down to a lower time frame and assess what happens here. So let's say we go down to a 1 hour time frame. The market finished here and was ready to start this week here. So you might have said, okay, yeah, I'm going to enter straight away like you did on EU. Regardless, I'm going to enter, see what happens. You had about a 30 pip stop loss here, and price obviously took you out here. That's no problem. You lost once. But remember, when you lost once, your whole aim was not to try and win 30 pips. Your aim was to try and take this pair either down to this level here, or as you can see over here, it was to take it down to this level here. So if you was to win this trade, even if it did go like that, you would have a risk to reward of 13, which is crazy when you're starting to look at trading. And that gave you so many opportunities. You could have literally lost this trade 5 to 6 times and still made profit on the trade if it did sell and go down to there. But of course, you're not going to enter like that on this pair. So imagine I said 5 to 6 times. So that gave you a possible re-entry from this level here, which is only 2 times now you would have lost the trade because you had a 30 pip stop loss. So you lost 60 pips, and then now you could have entered on this level here if you wanted to, and this would have been another 30 pips, which would have been 90 pips that you lost on this trade right now. You're still trying to get this long-term trade, and the further away you are with your 30 pip stop loss and the way you're looking for price to go towards, the better your risk to reward ratio will be. So this would have changed to like maybe like a 20 risk to reward, giving you more possible profits in this trade when it does go off. That is the psychology of it. You've got to understand this. If you're able to trade like this and don't enter this trade 6 or 7 times in 1 hour, you wait for it to get to key levels, then you look for another entry. But you know that when this trade does win, it's going to give you a risk to reward that's on a very high level. Now, of course, I'm not saying this is how you should trade, but I'm just letting you know, again, the psychology of how you can trade. And that even borderline goes into risk management, so people can understand that. Me personally, I'm waiting for price to go all the way back up to this level here and looking for what we can see. So we can see price can go up to this level here. I'm looking for it to either reject off this level, so I would have an entry in up here, or I'm looking for price to break this level and go further up. It does want to go further up, then I'm looking at it going possibly up towards this zone here. If it does that, that, then I'll be looking at a sell as well. But of course, I have my setup and how I trade and how I'll be able to enter these pairs. Either you can enter them clear as day with market structure on a lower time frame, forming a lower high when it does get up here, and then you just enter the trade, or you enter straight away on the resistance level. Literally the same confluences as the previous video are in this video as well, for the same reason. Wait for market structure to start to break on a lower time frame, enter. Psychology, do not think about it, win or lose, you enter. Remember what I told you, when you will win, especially if your risk to reward is good, you're going to make a lot of pips and a lot of profit. Gold, I have marked it out, you can already see in this video, and here's the explanation, because you know, we're at the point where I've said these things a few times now. So gold, I did tell everybody that, look, I'm not going to be looking to re-enter gold, because gold might decide to go back up to this top level, because if we go over to a weekly time frame, we can see there's a huge liquidity left here. Time and time again, I say the same things. There's a huge wick left here. Price can go and chase that. We can see exactly the example of what I'm saying here. Liquidity left. I told everybody in the group that gold is probably going to cover that. That's what it did. It covered that liquidity and then brought up even more, but left another one. It left this previously at the all-time high over here. When you go to the monthly time frame, it's the same thing. So what we can see right now, clear as day, is that there is a rejection, and gold on a weekly time frame has closed bearish. So if we go back over to our lower time frames, we're looking for market structure to form. So here, market structure isn't too clear for me on the daily time frame. So I'm going to go down even further. I'm gonna go to the 4-hour time frame, and here I can start to see market structure a bit better. So I can see that the trend line is going towards this area here, but remember, this week did start here. So in all theory, this trend line for me, because I didn't see price keep touching it, it's not the best for me anymore. Where even though you would have had it down going to here, you see the market broke this trend line. Okay, if I'm looking for support or resistance levels, what am I looking for here? The trend line didn't look that good for me on a 4-hour time frame in terms of how price could bounce to it. Now I'm looking at a possible resistance level. For me, I've drawn this level here, which I've had previously as a resistance, because we can see how strong this 1961 level is. I've said to the gentleman in the general group that price can go all the way up to the level here, and then you're looking for a trade. He entered around 1920, and I told him that's not a good zone, because you're just in the middle of a stop hunt area, which is clearly between here and here. Between these two areas right here, this level and this level, is just a stop hunt area as well. So you want price to go to a key level and then try and find the trade from there, win or lose. Psychology, stop trying to trade everything. If you trade everything, you're just going to make yourself lose for no reason. You need to be in a position where you wait for price to get to where it needs to be, and it's either it goes there or it doesn't. That's also psychology. You've got to understand, sometimes it's going to go there and go off. Sometimes it's going to go off before it goes to that zone. Exactly what you see here. My zone at first was marked up here, but when I've come back and I've analyzed the market, I've seen that the price went off from this level here. But I've seen clearly, when you look and follow me, this is a stronger level of resistance, because it brought up to this level and a huge rejection happened off of this level. So what would I be expecting if gold is in a downtrend now? I'm expecting a huge rejection again off of this level, possibly to break this level and go down. So what could we be seeing for gold right now in a continuation? We want gold to break this level down here, which is 1878, and then we want it to retest around about 1878, and then look for a continuation of a sell based on this part over here. What it can do if it doesn't want to do that, and its aim is to, you know, stall price, it's going to go possibly down to this level here, which is 1878 again, and then it can now do a rejection, buy back up to go and cover the liquidity here first, to now follow and do the next sell pattern going all the way down. It just depends on what they want to do with gold. So I hope everybody understands that. So, you know, this is the video, and this is what we can see going forward in these pairs as well. So in this video, I've gone over psychology. It wasn't individual factors of psychology. It was more, this is how I show my students every single time. In the VIP group for Neo, I show them all the time that you have to see repetition in order for you to get your psychology right. If I just make one YouTube video and then I'm just like, yep, this is how it should be, you should be all right, everything's good, you're not going to get the psychology. It's not possible to really show people psychology in one YouTube video, or even Forex. People need to keep seeing the chart. They need to keep seeing when they've either, you know, assessed and said, okay, it's going to sell from here, it's going to buy from here, and it keeps happening like that. Then you're going to come into a realization of saying, oh, I'm seeing that if I was to do this, this is what would happen most times, and this is exactly how I'd be able to trade this. And then when it comes down to actually entering trades off the higher time frames, you can see here, if you use the higher time frame for structure, re-enter on a lower time frame, you're going to most likely be able to find trade entries as well. It's how would you be able to trade if you've not got a lot of free time on the chart? Again, higher time frames. If you wait on the higher time frames and then you wait for price to get to key levels, you can set alerts exactly how I've shown you. Make sure you use the alerts on a lower time frame when you set them, and you can even put stop loss and TP levels, because you can work out where the trade is possibly going to go to using your psychology and knowing how chart analysis is and how it works to make profit. So I've wrapped up everything. I've gone over a conclusion and an understanding of what these pairs can do. I hope you like this one, guys and girls, and let's get these pips. Peace.
Started from the bottom like Drake. Got that young moolah, but I learned my mistakes. Climbing up the ladder, gotta watch out for the snakes. If you wanna be the boss, then you have to delegate.